So with the Nintendo Switch 2 being out for a couple of months now, you must be thinking, well, so far all we have is Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. And well, you're right, for now, except we do have a lot more games coming in, and I'm going to be telling you guys what exactly is coming out very, very soon. We actually have a bunch of games coming out back to back to back, to the point that when we're done with this list, we might even go bankrupt. And the thing about it, I'm getting those games as well. So, like, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's make bad financial decisions. I'm kidding. Please manage your money responsibly. You got that? All right, so to keep it simple, this is how the list is gonna work. The sooner the game shows up into the video, the sooner the release date is. And the further we go into the video, the further out the release date will be. And if you enjoy the list, remember to hype up the video. It really helps push out the video further so more people can actually find out what amazing lineup we have coming soon. So let's jump right into it and see what's coming up first. So to start off the list, we have Super Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy is easily seen as one of the best Mario games of all time, and I am personally very hyped for these games. I played part of the original Galaxy when I was a kid, but I never completed it, and now I'm currently actually replaying it. As a kid, I basically rushed through the domes and I never finished the game, but regardless, I'm very nostalgic over this, and it's really bringing me back to my childhood days. And it's actually one of the very first games that I actually purchased by myself when I was a kid. So this was obviously a very proud moment for me. And then years down the line, I ended up buying Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii as well. However, I haven't played it because I've never finished the first game. But fun fact, I'm actually streaming the game right now, so make sure to join the Discord to find out what the schedule is. Now, yes, you can purchase these games separately. However, who am I kidding? These games are very nostalgic to me. I was gonna end up getting them anyway, so I might as well just get them day one. And on top of that, I'm a collector, so this just has to be in the collection anyways. But if you haven't placed the pre-order, now's the time to do that, because this game actually comes out on October 2nd. And on top of that, we have the Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out. Like, yo, I'm literally gonna go see that movie on day one. And coming up next, we have Persona 3 Reloaded. My cousin is actually a very huge fan of the Persona series, and he's been telling me all about the games. And personally, I've never played a Persona game before, so I'm seeing the trailer here, and yo, this looks so good and it looks like it's gonna be a ton of fun. I have heard that these games are a little long though, but correct me if I'm wrong. But for those Persona fans out there, is Persona 3 a good place to start, or should I start with one of the earlier games? Overall, this still looks very fun, and I'm definitely gonna be giving this one a try. And it's actually coming out on October 23rd, which is very, very soon. So if you're a fan of the Persona series and want to give this game a replay on the Switch 2, or if you're trying to get into it like I am, this looks like it's going to be a very good pickup. And another game releasing in October is going to be Pokemon ZNA. This game is bringing back the Mega Evolutions, which personally is one of my favorite power-ups in the Pokemon games. Z-moves to me were meh, Gigantamax was okay, and Terrestrialization for me was alright, I guess. However, I didn't really like how every Pokemon looked like they had a chandelier over their head. But Mega Evolutions? Like, yo, now we get a chance to actually get a Mega Greninja. So I will definitely be getting this, and of course I'm going to be going with Froakie as my starter. Especially because out of this set of starters, my favorite is the Water type. I usually go for the Fire type Pokemon in my Pokemon playthroughs, however, this is one of the few times I actually go with Water. Froakie, Mudkip, and Squirtle are probably the only Water starters I would actually pick. And now that we actually have this game, that means all of those three that I just mentioned now have Mega Evolutions. So Pokemon, take my money! I actually love the Pokemon games, and I'm hoping that this one's going to be a good one. And this game actually comes out on October 16th, so you already know what I'm going to be doing for Halloween. And then just a few days later, we're going to be getting Once Upon a Katamari actually coming out in October 24th. Personally, I have never played any of these games, however, this looks very fun. It looks like it's one of those little fun games that you can play to kill some time. So if not Pokemon for Halloween, then I'm definitely going to be giving this one a try. So I'm going to be testing this one now, and I might even be juggling around both of them to see what exactly happens. So we'll see what I end up playing on the actual Halloween day. But for now, this one's looking pretty good. And speaking of Halloween, we have Dragon Quest 1+2 HD 2D Remake coming on October 30th. The classic RPG games from the 90s are making a comeback now with an updated 2D, 3D visual. And personally, I think that looks really cool. This definitely looks like it's going to be a very good pickup, and I definitely want this for the collection. However, I think I'm still going to be on Pokemon at the time. As long as I don't finish Pokemon on the same day, that is. The Dragon Quest 3 Remake was one of the best releases, and it scored an 84 on Metacritic, which is actually pretty good. So I'm expecting Square Enix to put in as much effort as they did with Dragon Quest 3, or even go above and beyond that. But I definitely don't think that they'll let us down with this pickup right here. And then in early November, we actually have Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This game is basically a prequel to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now we can actually see what exactly happened during the imprisoning war that they talked about in the game. This game is perfect if you're looking to get something in the Legend of Zelda series or if you just want more lore behind it. I'm not too sure if this is canon, I believe it's not, but correct me if I'm wrong. But still, this is very interesting to see, and it comes out on November 6th. So literally back-to-back bangers without getting a break. And right in time for the holidays too, so definitely if you're planning on getting some games for somebody during the holiday season, there's plenty to go around, especially because we have more on the list. So I will definitely be picking this up since Legend of Zelda is literally part of my DNA at this point. Like, I literally treat the Legend of Zelda games as if they were the Infinity Stones and I'm literally Thanos with my gauntlet. Every new game I get literally just feels so amazing to add one more to the shelf. Mid-November, we actually have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, this game is very good. Now, I already have this on the PlayStation 5 and I spent hours playing this game on there. Like, I literally would take my PlayStation Portal to bed and my girlfriend would end up getting mad at me since all she would hear is Kamehamehas as she was trying to sleep. And I'd stay up till like 1 a.m. playing this, which is why I ended up having to take my Beats with me so I can keep on playing. And I know, I have a horrible sleep schedule. But the only flaw that the PlayStation 5 version had was that I couldn't play this on the go. Like, I literally tried taking my PlayStation Portal on the go and used the hotspot to try streaming the game while on the go, however, it did not work out well. So it's safe to say that thanks to that lag, the Great Saiyan Nate Vegeta battle ended up beating me more times than I like to admit. But now with it being on the Switch 2, I can finally dive back anywhere that I want to with no need for any kind of Wi-Fi connectivity. So I definitely want to replay this, and if you haven't already, then you're definitely missing out. And this game actually comes out on November 14th, so save the date. You'll thank me later. Now, remember when I told you about the back-to-back releases? Yup, this is another one. So just a few days later after Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, we actually have Kirby Air Riders dropping on the Nintendo Switch 2. Yes, just in time for Thanksgiving. After many years since the GameCube original, this thing is finally getting a sequel. And as for me, I'm personally very excited for this game. Like, this is literally one of the most anticipated games for me of the whole year. So for it to finally be so close to the release date, the hype is just getting bigger and bigger. And it's being directed by Sakurai himself. And if you know anything about Mr. Sakurai, then you know that when he's in charge of a game, then it's gonna be coming out with quality. So you definitely don't want to miss this one out. And this one actually drops on November 20th, so if you haven't pre-ordered this already, then what are you waiting for? I am definitely going to be playing this at the Thanksgiving dinner table. And speaking of giving thanks, if you're enjoying this video so far, please make sure to hype up the video. It helps me out a lot. And you might be starting to see a trend here, because just 2 weeks later, yes, 2 weeks later, we are going to be getting Metroid Prime 4 on December 4th. Nintendo is literally taking all of our money this holiday season. Metroid Prime 4 has long been anticipated since this thing was initially announced back in E3 2017. Yes, E3. Remember when we used to have that? Jesus Christ, it's been a minute. But this game was literally announced when the original Switch was first launched. Literally, the original Switch was only 3 months old when this thing got announced. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we literally went a whole generation just waiting for this game to come out. Like, this literally almost turned into a myth, an urban legend, something that people just talk about and it never fully came out. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people actually think that this game was no longer going to come out. And then finally, after 8 long years, this game is finally going to be coming out. Keep in mind, the last true Metroid game was Metroid Prime 3 Corruption on the Wii 18 years ago. Meaning, if you were born when Metroid Prime 3 came out, then you would literally be considered an adult now. The original Metroid Prime actually got released a while back on the original Nintendo Switch, and it's currently going for $40. So if you really can't wait, or if you haven't played this one yet, then I highly recommend you give this one a try in the meantime, since we technically have like about 2-ish months before this game actually comes out. This game is highly anticipated, and again, I will 100% be picking this game up. But that's not all for Dragon Quest fans, because just a few months later, we're going to be getting Dragon Quest VII Reimagined coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. The game looks really good, but this game isn't coming out until February 5th of 2026. So you will have a little rest period for you to actually be able to catch up and play the games that I've mentioned in this list so far. But if you plan on getting everything, then whoa, this is going to be a very big backlog for you. And well, the rest period is kind of over, so prepare your wallets, because here comes Wave 2 with Nintendo games. One of my favorite games that I personally really enjoy is the Mario Tennis games. I don't know why, but I've always really enjoyed these type of Mario games. We have Mario Tennis on the N64, we have Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color, and we even have Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube and the Wii re-release. All those games were just very good ways to spend some time, and now we actually have a new Mario game coming out. And this game is Mario Tennis Fever, and it's coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2 on February 12th. So I will for sure be picking this game up, and personally, I really hate sports games. But Wii Sports and the Mario games seem to be the only exception that I seem to make. So this game is 100% going into my collection. And later that same month, we actually have Resident Evil Requiem, which personally I have not played. I do have some horror games, however, to be completely honest, most of the time I prefer fast action shooters such as the Call of Duty Zombies, or other games like The Last of Us. But I should probably give this game a try. However, if I were to do that, I feel like I should just start from the beginning. But I know many of you are probably going to be picking this up on day one. And this is actually coming out on February 27th alongside with Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil Biohazard. Yes, you heard that right, all three games are dropping on the same day, so it's going to be a very good day for Resident Evil fans. Now we're getting into the general first part of 2026, and we have Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Unfortunately, I never got the chance to play the original, however, I did hear lots of great stuff about this game. But now the 3DS game goes for about $100 on average. So if I can't find a copy sooner at a good price, then more than likely Living the Dream is going to be my very first Tomodachi game. But I definitely want to see what all the hype is about, and the Miis just bring back so many memories of the Wii days. I remember as a kid spending hours with my siblings just creating Miis, so for Miis to still be somewhat relevant nowadays, it's very nice to see. So this is 100% a must buy for me, and I'm definitely going to be adding this into the collection as well. Next up, also coming in spring of 2026, we have Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. This game just got announced for Mario's 40th anniversary, and to be honest, Yoshi games are pretty much usually heat. So I'm also expecting for this one to be pretty good. I mean, it's Yoshi, everybody loves Yoshi. Most of the newer Yoshi games are actually pretty easy, however, easy also comes with chill gameplay. So you can easily just chill and just casually play, no need to actually lean in to lock in. So this is probably just gonna be one of those chill games that you can just kind of just vibe to. And also coming in 2026, we have Rhythm Heaven Groove. And just like Tomodachi Life, I've heard wonderful things about this game franchise. However, the games such as Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii go for over $100. So personally, I haven't played either of these. But then again, I see your guys' comments and I hear how good these games actually are, so to be honest, you guys are making me really want to get this. So I definitely want to see what exactly I've been missing out on all these years. And we don't know the exact release date for this as of yet, but hopefully it's on the early half of 2026 if we're lucky. And last but certainly not least, we have a new Fire Emblem game coming out in 2026. This game just got announced with the most recent Nintendo Direct, and oh boy, this looks very good. The games are basically very similar to Advance Wars style of games. And if you still don't know what I mean, then basically you just have to move your soldiers around the map and it's a turn-based RPG. Except unlike Advance Wars, instead of operating heavy machinery, we have a more medieval theme going on here with knights, archers, and magic users. These games are very fun and you can easily get very addicted to these games. So this one is definitely going to be on my buy list once we get more info on this thing. But that is going to be it for this list right here. Let me know in the comment section below if you plan on getting any of these games that were listed today. And remember to give it a like and hype up the video if you enjoyed. I am going to be diving into the Mario Galaxy Collection coming out on the Nintendo Switch, so if you are interested in that, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for when that video comes out. But until then, thanks for watching.